President Carter's presidency saw almost doubling the price of homes in California. That on top of this week's highs and lows. Tuesday, Los Gatos House of the Week. Is that right? Yep. And uh, price reductions and yep, price reductions. Let's get going here. I know I'm a little bit late. Normally I do this in the morning. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon because stuff got busy. All right, Carter's presidency was number one for California. When you look at the numbers for the each 4 years of each presidential, or each 4 or 8 years, President Carter saw a huge jump in home values in California. This is after years of massive inflation. This is years after torturous home losses and people going broke and massive layoffs. And hey, guess what? We're in the same throes right here and right now. We're seeing unprecedented inflation. We're seeing crazy market shifts. We're seeing talks about employment, unemployment, and different things going on. So this is very important and it's kind of timely. And, not a big fan of what Carter did. He was kind of a paper tiger as far as being a president, but I respect him because he held out. He was the oldest president, oldest living president after the term, but also he was a major player in Habitat for Humanity. And if you know, I used to be a pro bono, pro tem broker for Habitat for Humanity. So I think it's a great program. And, he did a lot for his country, even though he wasn't that effective in the hostage negotiation, all that stuff. 90%. During Carter's 4 years in Oval Office, California home prices jumped 90%. Now, granted, we had the inflation thing going back, but look, if anything is telling you that things tend to repeat themselves, what did we just see the last couple of years? The last 4 years, massive inflation. Doesn't matter who did it. I don't care who you blame, whatever. It doesn't really matter. My point is that there is a position here for people to see a doubling almost of their home values all across the nation. If you look here, 2024, 2021 to 24, 2001 to 2004, Bush, he saw 82% in California. In 85 to 88, Ronald Reagan's, this is after Carter, saw a robust economy and 58% higher home prices. Crazy. And rates dipped 2.2 points to 10.8%. And during Bush W's reign, we saw 5.8%. So, but I understand. During Obama's reign, we saw 42% home gains, and we were all happy about the 4.2%, right? Joe Biden's term has seen a 33% jump in California prices, but the push for an economic recovery from the pandemic fueled another inflation outbreak, forcing rates to go up, and now we're seeing 6.8. And we don't know if that's going to go down this year. We just don't know. But I'm telling you, beg, borrow, steal, figure out how to make it happen, because now is the time to get your butt into real estate. Trump's first term saw 24%, and we saw historic lows of 2.9%. Yeah, that was part of the problem, but that was because we were in the pandemic and we needed to keep the economy going. Reagan's first term saw 13% and 13% interest rates. Crazy. George H.W., his only term, prices increased by 12%, and we saw 7.7%. Clinton, we saw 7.8%. During Obama's first term, we saw 7% depreciation, which, that was, I think, the .com. Yeah, it was .com bust. And rates were down to 3.5. So there's stuff that we can do to trigger it. This isn't just a very tunnel myopic view of what's going on in the economy. This is just part of the GDP. A small portion of it is real estate. It's important to know it, but we have technology and medical and healthcare and research and all these different things that are affecting it. But this is one of the main drivers of this. So when you look at the percentage, the rates that we're looking at, we're also looking at business rates, cash flow rates, and personal loan type rates as well. Bush Jr.'s second term saw housing crash. 2008 prompted 18% losses in California. 18. So everybody's telling me, "Oh, I'm holding out until there's a crash." You only saw 18% loss. It's $180,000 off of 100,000. Sorry, $180,000 off of $1 million. It's not a huge crash. And if you look over the last 4 years, houses are almost, I would say they're close to 80% all through California. So there's another thing that I want you to look at right here is this Fred account right here. All these gray columns are recessions that we saw. There's the pandemic, there's 2008, .com, 1990, 1980. So just remember, what we're looking at here is when rates go, when recessions happen, prices tend to increase. See, this is Carter's reign right here, right? So a little dip, but it came right back, and there's that flat lined out. In 2001, prices went up, and 2008 we saw that 18% drop. That's what it was, and now we're here. And and people are telling me all throughout the last 5-10 years, I'm going to wait for a crash. Well, if it goes down 18%, you're not going anywhere, right? You're not getting the great deal that you think you're going to get. You might, but then you might have to rebuild that house. There you go. Enough said. This segment of this episode is brought to you by the Home Inspection Checklist. If you're thinking about selling your house, download this checklist because it will help you get through your honey-do list and anything that's wrong with your house. Get everything repaired, disclose it, and then bring your inspector in, and then you have a nice clean report. Done. That's what it looks like right here. That's one of the pages. Just to tease you a little bit, Los Gatos House of the Week is this 1905. I don't think it's 1905. And the reason why I picked it is because, yes, it's still walking distance to downtown Los Gatos. This is not my listing. It's Palm Ave, 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, 2,700 square feet. And I don't think it's built in 1905, but let's go take a look inside. It might have been originally built, but this thing has been remodeled. This is like the Winchester Mystery House of Los Gatos. You can see this low ceilings, very typical of that. So this might have been a ranch house or a farmhouse at one point and then rebuilt. Oh, love that. Love that pool. I just did a pool inspection today. Okay. Oh yeah, price decrease of the month, of the year, of the decade. Guys, remember, you can attract the market or you can try to be a market maker. And I get it. This house is valued at or around $2.5 million. Other houses in the Almaden area are going 2.3 to $3 million and more. But for a standard house, this is a standard house, right? And if you look at it, there's only one house, only one picture. That means probably having problems getting into it because there's a tenant that's refusing to move. You can see the schleppy cars, and you can look at the exterior. It's kind of beat up, not very well taken care of. And it's 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,200 square feet, 7,800 square foot lot. And how old is it? It's 52 years old. So 60, 70, 71. But, all in all, it's a decent house. What do you know inside? You just don't know. And one picture is not going to sell a house, especially if you're trying to be a market maker. Sitting there, the original list price was $2.875, and it sat on the market 39 days and I have a feeling it's going to stay there. This house is really worth 1.7 to 1.8, and the seller is saying, nope, I'm not going to sell it. I don't have to sell. I want $2.5 million if we're going to sell it. I would never have taken that offer, taken that house. Oh, that's it. Price reductions. Okay, and then highs and lows. Let's see if we can grab this real quick. I had it, and then let me get into it real quick. I'm going to go backwards. Most expensive house sold in Santa Clara County is, let's see real quick, El Monte Avenue in Los Altos. Original list price is 8.5. 117 days it took to sell it for 88 point something percent at $8.3 million. This is a 5-bedroom, 5.5 bath for 5,100 square feet and 4/10 of an acre. Not much to look at this house. Pretty standard. I mean, for this price, it better look good, better feel good, but you get the difference, right? Like $8 million for that. Crazy. The lowest sold house, original list price is $915. It's sold for $100,000 less. Crazy. This is Main Avenue in Morgan Hill. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Again, not my listing. 1,000 square feet. 1,000 square feet, 124 years old. Let's take a look at this beauty. It's a standard ranch type house, back in the hundreds, early 1900s. Everything was long and narrow, and there was no hallways. So this is pretty normal for seeing a house like this. And you can see that there's an add-on here. So there's storage and entry. So really what you're looking at here is this is the house, and this is added on shed or attached shed. Or if you're in San Jose, that could be an ADU. All right, next one is the lowest priced home in Santa Clara County is on Loma Chiquita. They just dropped the price down to $400,000. The only problem is it takes you an hour to get there. Kind of a pain to drive all that way. I actually did the little Google Maps from my house, an hour to get there. 2-bedroom, 2-bath. But the good news is this is kind of like a compound. So if you're expecting the zombie apocalypse, or an EMD, an electromagnetic pulse, EMP attack, or whatever, this is a great way to hold up and protect your family for a mere $400,000. Life insurance. I feel like I hear the banjos playing in the background. Look at that caravan with the grass growing around it. All right, and then the most expensive house available is La Vida Real, and it's been on market for the longest time. A couple of weeks ago, another one took its place. That one sold, and this one is still at the same original price, 118 days. It's a 5-bedroom, 12 bathrooms, 7 and 5 half baths, and it's a mere 21,000 square feet. It's just crazy. But it's in Los Altos Hills. Wish this was my listing. It's a beautiful house. There's nothing wrong with this at all. I mean, look at this thing. Every nook and cranny, every detail is just well thought out, very well planned, done up beautifully, very well manicured. I mean, how can you say no to this? So if you have $37 million just lying around itching to do something, let's go take a look at this. All right. That's it for now. Today's Tuesday, January 7th. I'm Vito with Apatano. Thanks for watching. We'll see you out there.